Good evening, everyone. My name is Rudy Page, and welcome once again to another in our great long series, a chapter from my life and book. And this evening, I'm so pleased that we have Garfield Robinson, and he's going to tell us all about his book as it relates to 100 great authors, Keepers of the Flame, 100, saluting 100 authors from our community. So good afternoon, Garfield.
Good afternoon, Rudy. Good afternoon, everyone who has joined us as well.
Great to see you. Great to see you.
Good afternoon, everyone who will see this now and at a later time as well.
Absolutely, and it will be shared everywhere. Our other partner to this is Fresh FM Radio London. So it will be rebroadcast on Fresh FM Radio London, and that's freshfmradiolondon.com. And of course, in most of the Facebook and WhatsApp groups. So Garfield, Keepers of the Flame, saluting 100 authors. Before we get into the book, Garfield, tell us a bit about yourself and your family background.
Okay. Whenever I'm asked that, I always like to say I come from a long line of teachers, right? So grew up in Jamaica. My dad was a carpenter, and he was also one of the deacons at church, right? Then my mom was a teacher. So at first she didn't teach at the local primary school. She taught further afield, and I would go to school with her. So I grew up with, carpenter deacon dad and teacher mom. So that was, and I was the first of, 3 children. So I'm the eldest. In Jamaica, that's special. You're the eldest.
Absolutely. I know the feeling. That means you carry some burden as the eldest child.
Yeah, responsibility is a nicer word.
Absolutely. Yeah, responsibility is probably a better word than burden.
Yeah.
So great. So what kind of jobs did you do in your early years, having left school, and what was your ambition in them early days when you look back?
All right. So I'm gonna give you the long story short because we could be here for days.
Yeah, exactly.
So one of the first things I did was while I was still in teachers college, I tried my hand at Stanley Home Products. That is what you call now what multi-level marketing, but
yeah.
Those times it was not a lot of virtual stuff. It was real stuff that you could. When I left, teachers college, I taught.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was kind of natural. Because mom is a teacher, half of my aunties, half of my uncles are teachers. So
right, yeah,
it was kind of natural that I'd end up teaching.
yeah.
Then when I got tired of that, she said, "Well, if you're tired of that, get something else. At least you have your tertiary education."
Mm.
So in those days, as you do, I bought a Sunday Gleaner, right? And I scoured the pages of the Sunday Gleaner, and I saw a job in Kingston. So I worked as a factory supervisor, and at the same factory, I was decorating candles.
Mm-hmm.
And when I moved on from there, I worked in auto parts. So I worked around the counter, and then I was promoted to auto parts manager.
Right.
And I've worked with different kind of places. The last place I worked before, so I was doing online sales at the Gleaner. Okay. And that's the last thing I did in Jamaica before I got here.
Yeah, okay. And then of course, you joined the Gleaner over here. So you worked for the Gleaner in Jamaica, and then when you came over here, you then went to the Gleaner UK.
Yeah. Yeah, so it was a little bit different though, because in Jamaica I sold online advertising, and then here's where I learned the print advertising bit. Right. So in Jamaica I touched no print advertising, it was just online.
Right. Okay. So how did you get into selling books then?
Okay. All right. So in Jamaica, whenever I got paid, I was living in a bookshop. So I would spend hours in a bookshop, like most weekends when I got paid, and I'd take home loads of book. I would say a very avid reader. And I think being a teacher and saw my mom was with hundreds of books, I used to help her make charts. It kind of was natural. So when I came here now, I said, you know something, I wanna try my hand at writing a book. In fact, when I decided to come here, I was gonna write the book off, going to England, and when I got here, I'd write the other part.
Right.
But that bit never ever happened. Right. How I got to this book now was I don't know if I want to call it midlife crisis, but I woke up in February one morning,
Yeah.
right? And everybody I tell it to the same story. I woke up in February one morning and I said, oh my God, in a couple of months, I'm going to be 60.
Okay.
And yeah, yeah, and I have unfinished business. There's a couple of things I wanted to do that I haven't done. And one of them was writing a book, right? So that's how I started to kind of get to the book.
Yeah.
And then I kind of decided I wasn't going to write it about myself anymore, because I'd actually tried that a couple of times here and it didn't work. So I was looking for inspiration. I mean, looking behind every tree, looking under a rock, everywhere for inspiration. And I was out selling books one day and I said, I need to write a book, but not sure yet.
Yeah.
And it was one evening while I was watching TV. I was watching a game show, and the game show host said, we asked 100 the persons, what's your favorite color? And I said, I can do that. I can ask 100 Black authors, what makes you write, what inspires you, what you want the reader to take from your writing, and so forth and so forth. And that's how I started on this book thing.
Yeah.
So the February, and then a couple of days, then I actually woke up the 1st of March, and I looked myself in the mirror, in my tie and everything, in my suit and everything, and I said, I'm going for it. And I said to my wife, I'm on a march of 31 days. And she said, what? I said, yeah, I'm marching for 31 days, and I hope the 1st of April I see a good result. And that's how we started on the book. So I started to contact all the authors and explain to them what it was about. And one of the things that I knew most of them. I could call them up and follow up with an email and everything. So it's not like I was trying to write about people I've never seen or never met. And most of them, I mean, I've been selling books 20 years now. Most of them I've met them over 20 years.
Yes.
So yeah, that was really interesting experience.
Okay, and of course myself included. And I think I've
probably
probably known you 20 years as well.
Yeah, very early, yeah.
So what advice would you give to people who are thinking of writing a book or thinking of doing some kind of business as well? Because I know you have a lot of thoughts around that.
All right. Whether it's business or writing a book, I would say use your powers of observation, right? So when I look around, it's very interesting. You have there's so many different cars, and people still find a new car to come out with and sell it and make lots of sales, and there's a whole heap of cars already. So I mean, in my case, I knew I had been following some of the authors, and I was kind of keep track of them. And then I said, one day I said, let me see how many authors I know. And I did an Excel sheet, and no kidding, I got close to 200.
Really? Okay.
So when I got to thinking about the book, I had to go back on my observations as well. So anybody, business or book, I would say be observant. I would say also, if you can solve a problem, right? If you can make something that's already done easier, or apply technology to make it much easier to work it. Why they say build a better mousetrap?
Yeah.
Not that I'm trying to get at the mouse, but if you can make something easier to use, easier to access, I mean, go for it and use your observation, but speak with people. I mean, these days, a lot of stuff is done online, social media, all of that. Sometimes, people just want to put up something and they don't want to talk to people. Seek the people and get their feedback,
Okay.
I think one of them newspapers recently had changed their name and they did a survey and everything. But when they changed identity and everything, I went out, the newspaper still flopped because they felt like they didn't speak to enough people and get genuine feedback. So you have to be careful of that, to be observant, talk to people. Don't leave everything up to the socials. Get feedback and test your idea. Test your idea in them and see if something that they would really be a part of genuinely.
Of course. So when you look at the future, so having produced that first book, so what do you see as your next step as it relates to publishing? And
okay,
yeah.
It's interesting that you say it that way, because I actually liked what I did, and even more than me, the authors who have saluted, they don't like it, they love it, right? One lady called me and she was actually crying down the phone and said, Garfield, nobody has ever recognized my work, blah, blah, blah. And I was saying to her, look here, if you keep on crying, I'm going to start crying as well, because when I set out to do this thing, I didn't expect people to be crying and get all emotional, but it shows the value of what has been done. And I can't take all the credit for it, because without the other 99 authors, we would never have gotten to where we are now. So it's definitely a collaborative effort. We need to do more collaboration, and strong as its strongest link. So we need to make sure the chain has a lot of more strong links, and can bind us together and allow us to work together more closely and be a force for good.
Right, and it's interesting you put it that way, because when you collaborate, it also means that there's trust and cooperation, and so you have that collective coming together, the sharing, or what we would say the pooling of resources, i.e. people's knowledge, their background and their information, and then there's the sharing of the amplification, or there's the sharing of the revenues, and that's all based on trust. So all the authors trusted that you would put something together high quality that would reflect their values and obviously your values, and that's how it works, because we pool resources, and then we say to an individual, look, we trust you, you've got the skill, you've got the vision, whatever it might be, and you produce the outcomes and you share it back with everybody. And that's what you've done. You've sent everybody a book so everybody can see who took part. And I think that there's some lessons around that when it comes to collaboration as well.
Yeah.
So you did exemplify that.
Yeah, I think it's definitely the way forward, because there are family members now who want me to publish them. There are friends who want me to do that as well. But definitely, I mean, when I looked at this, without authors, there'd be no books. So it's definitely the right thing to, work more with authors. So, I mean, I know Black History Month is coming up sharp, and I know some people are gonna know where to find literature from a Black perspective, but you're still gonna have some people who, have not a clue where to look, and in my small way, I'm trying to play my role in trying to, get the information out there. I'm up on the M1 all the while, M40 all over the place, but
exactly.
I'm getting too old for this long driving now, man. I need some more help from technology.
You need to get a driver, but you still need to be on the road.
Well, Yeah,
But,
still is me on the road.
but
Yeah.
what I would say, I mean, I can actually give you a commission now in terms of next year is Windrush 75.
Yeah.
So those of us involved with
Oh yeah, I know.
Windrush on that side, so that 75 is really important. So
Yeah.
I don't see why you can't get 75 voices, men and women, all ages across. We've got six
Yeah.
generations here in the UK of Windrush people going
Yes.
down through the generations. Six.
Yes.
The eldest that I know is Mr. Elder Norman Mitchell, based in Harlesden, London Northwest 10. He's
Yeah.
101 years old.
Ooh. Okay.
So when you
Okay.
think of Windrush next year, we've already come up with the theme, as you know, the Windrush anchor, hope, strength, and belonging. So, 75 is important. So we're saying to everybody, look, come on, let's get behind this 75 because it means something for us in this country, but it also
Yes.
means something for us in Jamaica itself and the
Yes.
wider Caribbean. We've got lots of people of mixed heritage from various islands, different cultures as well. So
Yeah.
the influence of the Caribbean community is immense. So there's some
Yeah.
great books in there. There's plays, there's music.
Yes.
Fresh
Yes.
FM, we're doing 75 focus on the Windrush reggae pioneers. So that's everybody in the reggae industry, the promoters, the artists, the musicians, the
Yeah.
sound recordists,
Yeah. Sounds
people who
good. Sounds good.
sold the records. So I think with what you do and where you find yourself in all of this, that you
Yeah.
could do a great book around that Windrush 75 and what that
Yeah.
really means to the community.
Yeah. Well, I only have one thing to say, which is the challenge accepted.
Excellent. And I'll help you amplify that as well, of course.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
So have you got a sense of what you might do? Let me push you a little bit further on that. Given your experience,
Well, it's just fresh dropped on me now, so it's
Sure.
like fresh FM. So it's just so I have to
Yeah,
I have to go be observant now and
exactly.
scope it out and
Yeah.
talk to a couple of people and see what what would they be looking for in
Yes.
something like this,
Yeah.
and make sure that when it comes out, it's not just something I sat by myself and thought about. It's a collaborative effort, and people are looking forward to participate and to share it and so forth. So
Yeah.
definitely, that one is that's one is going to go on the front burner. So
Yeah.
and we'll definitely have a good chat and see what we do.
Yeah, no, it'd be great because I think the model that you've already established in terms of the way you did this first one.
Yeah.
So it's just about, okay, there are areas where you can progress, you can refine the model, and of course, introduce some new ideas into that model. Based around a theme, because obviously the first book, you didn't have the kind of theme that we now have.
Yeah, this is a specific theme now. Yeah,
exactly. And you've got the commonality of Windrush 75. And as we both know, when we talk about Caribbean people, we come in all kind of different cultures, different interests, different backgrounds. But yet what holds us together is that link with the Caribbean, regardless of how many generations as well. Because obviously you could be born here, you could be born in the Caribbean, you can come here, you can be of different mixed heritage. But there's a constant in terms of the culture of Caribbean people. So I think you could produce.
That's going to be a nice thing to work on.
Yeah.
Because it's spanning, like I said, all those ages,
Yeah.
I was in Birmingham a couple months ago in June, and I met this gentleman, and he said, I'm 85.
Yes.
And when my 85th birthday was coming up, I said, what am I going to do for my 85th birthday?
Mhm.
So I wrote a book. So that man, and he gets around. I was at an event recently, somewhere in London, and he was there.
Mm.
So this man, 85, he gets around. I mean, he's I think he used to be an engineer like years ago, but he's retired a long time. But
Cool.
you know, he's still getting around, and I think he's gonna maybe do another book as well, because once you do one book and you get a
Mhm.
good feedback, good landing, some people are interested in, yeah, you'll write again, which is
Yeah.
yeah, you'll
And
write again.
and that recollection is important. Right. We have a few of
Yeah.
your supporters on here. So if any of we're going to give them a chance. If any of your supporters would like to ask any questions or give a
Any easy
perspective,
questions?
easy questions, or even if you'd just like to talk about Garfield in general, you know, then
Okay, all right.
happy for you to do that. So
Okay.
we'll give them the opportunity to do that. So whilst people are thinking about something, then Garfield, you mentioned about Black
Yeah.
History Month, October, of course. Have you what particular events have you got
Yeah.
planned? Where can people see you? You know, where will you be selling your books as usual?
Okay. All right. All right. That's and is well, the 1st and 2nd of October,
Yeah,
and it's gonna be my actual like exact 20 years
this
since I
weekend.
started. Yeah, 20 years, which is the first week in Black History Month, first week of 2002. So I'm going to be at the Black Culture Market, which
Mm.
so I'm gonna be at Black Culture Market on both days, and yeah, I'm gonna be roughly 200 yards from where I started my business 20 years ago.
Yeah,
So I'm gonna be supporting the Black Film Network in Stratford, but I'm still waiting on the exact dates.
yeah,
And I'm going to be working with some other colleagues as well, because I can't be everywhere. You just spoke about
yeah,
collaboration.
yes, of course.
Yes. So some of the outfits that I work with in terms of going to sell at their events. There's a group who has been able to get into a couple of the corporate entities
Good.
to have their Black culture market.
Mm.
So there's two other gentlemen, men I work with. So we'll be sharing up the time and, you know,
Mm.
we call it now, collaborating on these events and,
Good. Excellent.
you know, having a presence at those places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
And
Garfield,
I'll be pulling through some authors as well doing book signings.
excellent. And I think you probably, given the way you handle the books, maybe again next year you could look at some live events where you have some of the authors from your new book actually live in person with a moderator talking about giving some insights from the book and why they made that particular contribution to your book, if you see what I mean. So there's all kind of different ways that you can bring out, you know, more uh, uh, information about the community, but also it's a great way to share. Now, Garfield, what's happened? We've had one or two late arrivals, and
Yes.
somebody's asked, "Can you repeat why you wrote the book and how
Oh,
you got to?" So, if you can repeat that, just
okay.
a late
So
arrival. So, yeah.
yeah. So what's the why or how? What is it?
Well, both. Why you
Okay.
wrote the book?
All right. So
Yeah.
a big part of why is that well, I've tried before to do it, but it was about me, right? And this time looking to make a difference as well, I did it more collaboratively. So as I said, I was looking for how to write my first book, because I'd hit the big 60. I was about to hit the big 60, and I had unfinished business, right? So while looking around for ideas, now I was watching TV one evening, and it was a game show, and the game show host said, we asked 100 people, what's your favorite color? And I said, yeah, that's what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to ask 100 Black authors, what makes you write? What inspires you? Why you decided to become an author, and what you want the reader to take away from, whatever you have written. So that was the kind of process. And then they were asked to send in 200 words to describe all of that, what makes you write and all of that, what inspires you. A lot of inspirational stories. And one thing I love with a lot of what they have sent in, even if you buy their book, it's not going to be in it. Because if they write a storybook about something, it's just a storybook. They're not going to necessarily put their life bits inside of that book, right? So they had to say in 200 words why they write, what inspires them, and what they want the reader to take. And then I was trying to get technology to help me. So when I thought of the location app, the what 3 words, I said, they could also give me 3 words that describe their personality. So 3 words that say whether they are, kind, patient, and resourceful, something like that. So it's interesting. Some people even cheated a bit. They gave me like 2 single words and a double barrel word. So maybe 4 words. And then, they had to give me a high resolution picture, right? And that high resolution picture, now we have a special software that we bought, and we use that to make the picture look good in black and white.
Yes.
Because if we were going to publish full color, we would maybe have to win the lottery twice. Something like that.
That's
the kind of process.
Picture.
Yeah. And back and forth, I show them what you have done, and then say, okay, look here, this is good, but the picture is not good.
Yeah.
Please send us a picture. It's going to be that. So from start to finish, it was 10 weeks, mostly nights, because I go 9 to 5 in the day. And
Right.
is more than a 9
okay, so 10 weeks from start to finish. That's excellent. So how many? So we can understand the purpose why you did it. So how many hours do you think it took you in terms of putting the information together? How many hours of work? Okay, we've just lost Garfield for the moment there. Just see if he's back. Garfield, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, I was saying, how many hours work do you think over that 10 weeks just to put the book together in order so it could go to the printer, all that content, editing, re-editing, etc., etc.?
Yes, so I would say, so March, April, May, 10 weeks. And we're working on it every day, myself.
Okay. Are you still there, Garfield? Right, just frozen for the moment. Right, we're just waiting for Garfield to come back. Right, we've got some of his other guests that are on here. So if any of you have anything that you'd like to say in terms of working with Garfield, your interaction with him, and I think he will be back in a moment. So Garfield?
Yeah, it's there. So I would say, I
Yeah.
think easily maybe about 700 hours.
700 hours. 700 hours. That's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think so. If we If you worked out at 8 hours a day,
Yes.
that's all right. So one morning when I went up, it was 6:30, right? So I was actually working from the office that night, and yeah, when my wife said, "So where are you coming from now?" I said, there's a lot of work. There's a lot of work because throughout the process, I didn't tell my wife I was working on this book,
Yeah.
right? Because I didn't want to tell her one more thing. I don't want nobody to judge me now. One more thing that I had told her I was going to do that I didn't do, right?
Yeah.
And it can be something as simple as washing dishes or whatever it is. But I didn't want to tell her one more thing that I didn't take to the finish. So it was actually on the 1st of June now when the book was delivered. And when I got home in the evening, I cut open one of the boxes and I said, "This is yours." So she said, "What is this?" So I showed her my name. She said, "What?" She said, you finally done it. I know you spoke about it one long time ago. You were trying to write a book, but I didn't even think anything about it again. And then she was saying, "Congratulations, get a little hug." And then she stepped back and said, "Wait, hold on. Is me alone never know about this? Who else knew about this while you were working on it?" So, so I had to spill the beans. So my brother in America knew, her sister in Jamaica knew, the children in the house knew, because I'd showed them. I said, "What do you think about it? You think young people will read it and all that?" I said, "Yeah, I like that. I like the styling and everything." And so it was kind of interesting. And I was kind of worried that, boy, after all this work and this achievement, I hope that I'm not banished to the doghouse, because we don't even have a dog at home. So we don't have a doghouse around the back either. So
you
I'd
would
be in trouble.
Excellent. And again, in these times with digital technology, obviously you can repurpose the book, the cover. So if you have to do a second publication, again, it can be repurposed for next year and beyond, which is great with digital. Garfield, somebody has asked, you had mentioned previously there was about 200 authors, and then you narrowed it down to 100. So they want to know, what was your criteria? What were the priority issues that you adopted to, to get from the 200, so that you said, right, this 100, I've selected this 100 for this particular reason.
I hope it's not somebody who I've upset. So what I was going for with this book is I wanted one of the unique features to be like the authors I've known the longest. Right. People I meet from early 2002, 2003 coming up. Right. So the authors I knew the longest, then definitely the ones I knew personally. Right. Because over 20 years selling books, you sell thousands of books. Some of them you never know the authors. I mean, there's when you go to someone like the distributors, they have authors from all over the world, right? So I was trying to narrow it down to people I knew, in the UK. And I think I did that, but then two persons I think have moved overseas. Somebody now lives in Africa, and I think somebody has moved back to live in Jamaica. So when I did it, it was 100 UK Black authors that I know. But then two of them say, okay, we live abroad now, but they were here when it was done. So the criteria would be definitely Black authors, preferably people have sold their books, but not necessarily, but people I know. So people I know was a big factor in that.
Okay, right. I've got a nice testimonial about you here, which I'll read.
Oh, Lord.
From Sade. I don't know if this is a family member, but Garfield, it has been a pleasure being a part of your journey. I found working with you smooth and uplifting. Thank you for allowing me to be part of the flame. You have been a true blessing in the short time I've known you. Apologies that I cannot speak, because there in the environment where they are at the
Yeah,
moment. But I think that's a
yeah,
very nice testimony
yeah,
from Sade. So
yeah.
yeah.
Thanks, Chade, for that. You know what I find happening to me now? What I find happening to me now is when I go to an event to sell books, I find sometimes the organizers, they put me near the authors.
Right. Okay. That's a good
So,
idea.
so they put me near the authors, or put the authors near to me, right? And I find as well that even if I don't go to an event to sell,
Mm,
somehow the authors like they find me,
of course.
So I
But
didn't want to say I'm
you're a distributor. Now, there's no
I
point
didn't
writing a book if you're not going to distribute the book. So, but there's another message
yeah,
here
yeah, but
sending you love and appreciation, Sir Garfield, for the awesome writing of this book. And that's from Carol Nelson.
yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, thanks, Carl. You're welcome. And yeah, I think there's a lot more in me. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think I have a lot more to give. So yeah,
And
thanks for your endorsement.
there's another question here, Garfield, in terms of what was your greatest challenge that you faced on the production side of this book?
Okay, all right. So all right, so there's always challenges,
Mm,
but all right, let me tell you what happened now. So well, the first challenge was really time. So if you work full time and you have to do that, you have to be prepared to stay up a couple nights, but you still have to do your exercise, watch your diet so that
mhm.
burn out, and you have to pace yourself, right? So that bit, the keeping healthy. I mean, this morning at 7 o'clock, I was out walking in the rain because I know I need to get my exercise. I'm not getting
Mhm,
no younger.
mhm.
So, your health is paramount, and you can't, what we used to do, burn the candle at both ends. I don't know if
Yeah,
people still do that.
those
So
days have gone for our generation.
yeah, so you
We
have to
need
do
plenty
that.
of sleep. We need plenty of
Yeah,
sleep, good food, exercise.
yeah. So a
Look at our
crucial bit
diet. Mhm.
with that kind of going over, a crucial bit is time management,
Yeah.
right? And the first publisher that I had spoken with, and we discussed everything, and I was going to use them, but guess what? Now we ran out of time with that publisher, right? Because their process is a little bit longish,
Yeah.
right? So I had to submit that, and they would send me a first proof, and then I would look through everything, and then I would, get a second proof and all of that.
Mm,
So the publisher actually had a shorter turnover time,
mhm,
and they use technology a lot more. So they send you a PDF proof via email,
mm.
and you look through and you can tell them whatever changes to make. And like next day they can send you another PDF proof, which
Yeah.
cuts out like a whole long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the quote was a little bit more than the first one because they're gonna turn it around quicker.
Mm,
But two challenges I would say would be, definitely you have to keep your health in a certain, tip-top form, and manage your time.
yeah.
And because it's going to have a knock on what the end product is, and you
Yeah.
might go over your budget and all of that. So those,
So,
those are some of the challenges I had.
so you make quite an important point, which I haven't really heard anybody mention before. So
Yeah,
we know about costs and cost control. So we've always heard about that.
yeah,
We've always heard about time in terms of time
yeah,
management. But
yeah,
what I really commend you for is the health, that healthy living as it relates to the lifestyle, because you've still got to go to work, you've still got to do all those
yeah,
other things. And the fact
yeah,
that you did take that into consideration, I think again is a great lesson to share with other people, because obviously you can, and all of us can be, in terms of work-life balance or even something that we're passionate about, and then
yeah,
not think of our well-being. our mental health and well-being, which is essential. So that's really good that that you indicate
Yeah.
that was an integral part of this.
Yeah.
So excellent, well done, well done. So Garfield,
There's one missing.
yeah,
Yeah, I was gonna say there's one missing bit, right? So
yeah.
while I was, previously before I did this, and when I was trying to write and do my own thing, I met up on a piece of information which was saying that sometimes you're trying to write, but the background, your background might not be strong. So if you're struggling to write and you're not getting it, you should actually read more.
Okay.
And
Right.
reading more is like, that's on a whole different level, because it's not just the reading, right? Reading is like a gym for your brain,
Yeah.
right? Every new bit of information that you meet upon and the brain processes it, it produces electrical impulses. Some people say your body is electric, right? And that's how the brain go to the gym and keep healthy and fit and all that kind of something,
Yeah.
So writing is great, but the reading, so you can always ensure that, the brain is going to the gym. The reading is very important.
Yeah.
And I had to do a lot more reading as well.
Yeah, don't we all?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
there's a couple of comments. So as somebody said, no point in getting burnt out and not enjoying the fruits of one's labor.
Yeah.
So that's really important. And then there's another question here that do you publish books in general, and can people contact you if they would want to get their book published? I guess as an author, somebody with maybe their first book, would
Yes.
you be involved in that process,
Yes.
the publishing
All right.
process?
Yeah, man, I'm definitely able to help them. To be honest with you, I've been helping a lot of authors on the sales side,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
So I've met a couple very shy authors, because I was saying something to somebody the other day that if you locked up an author for a year with one glass of water, when you open the door, they wouldn't be dead. They'd just be writing till you let them out, right? But then put them to sell and they might not do such a good job.
Yeah.
Right. So I've been quite a bit now. I've been getting authors and I say, okay, come with me. I'm gonna be at XYZ place. I'm gonna set up my table. I'm gonna leave a piece for you. You're gonna come put your book there. I'm gonna stand up beside me and we're gonna pull people over and you're gonna talk to them and you're gonna say, this is my book, blah, blah, blah. And I'll sign it for you. So I've done that with a couple of authors over the past few years.
Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
That really is excellent. And how I would describe that as because you're mentoring somebody, you're showing them the way, you're getting them to understand the environment that they're in and what they must do within that environment. So you're showing them the way. So you're actually a publishing mentor as well. So congratulations. That's why you got such nice comments about you
Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thank you.
So you need to add that to your title,
I'll
publishing
do that.
And then of course you must monetize it as well, though, of course.
Exactly. Yeah, man.
Great.
Yeah, man. So I'm willing to help people, and when I'm saying willing and able, available as well. So,
okay. So Garfield, just before we go, can you tell us then how can people get hold of you? Telephone number, websites, just for those who may be interested in following up on this.
Okay. All right. So one of the easiest ways to get me is the business name is Promoting Our Heritage. So if you put Promoting Our Heritage, whether you put it in Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, you're going to get me coming up as Promoting Our Heritage. You can even put it into LinkedIn and I'll come up, right? I've just had a new website built, but I'm still working out the kinks, but it's live, right? So my website is www.pohbooks.co.uk. So to kind of give you a background, I didn't want a long everlasting email address promoting, or I had to shorten it to www.pohbooks.co.uk. And yeah, I'm very active on Instagram, and maybe that's the easiest place to find me. So it's promoting our heritage, and that's the easiest way to find me.
Okay, and then take us through the book, where the book is available, the full title again.
Okay, all right. So at the moment, the book is available. I've put it on eBay, right? But eBay, I prefer eBay for the overseas people who are gonna buy it, right? Because what's happening now with Brexit and everything, a lot of the postage thing kind of messed up, right?
Right.
So eBay has a thing, and I'm saying the benefit of anybody who is trying to come to grips with shipping things overseas, right?
Yeah.
eBay has a thing called the Global Shipping Program, right?
Right.
And
Good
what
advice.
it means is that if somebody in America buys something from your UK eBay shop, they will pay the UK postage as well as the postage to go to America, wherever they are. Big
Right.
help, right?
Okay, so that's
And
just
I'm going to tell you,
one
I'm going to
payment.
tell you that there are two times I nearly, well, I was going to say fainted, but I'm not going to say fainted. 2 times I nearly dropped down, right? So I sold a book. This was, right, to somebody in America. The book was £20, right? You know, when I wrote down to the post office, you know how much a lady said? So I said, that makes sense. So anyway, I posted it, and then I sent the lady a note and said, look, I've posted the book because I know you really wanted it because your relatives in it and all of that, and it's, there's a kind of link. So, but please, if you could send me a little bit more money for the postage, I'd really, really appreciate that. And she did.
Yeah.
She did. So eBay now, I like eBay for the overseas people, especially with the global shipping program.
Yeah.
And then for the UK based people, they can go via my website, the www.pohbooks.co.uk. And if they go via Instagram, they'll still find a link which takes them to my website. And for the UK people, I just do like sum up. Yeah, if you're trying to cut down on costs, because with the eBay now, everything you sell on eBay, they take roughly average of 20%. Right. So let's use that for the special occasion. But for the people now doing it through the sum up now, they take 1.69%.
Yeah,
and you see the
big difference. Because
difference
that's
between
UK, yeah. Okay.
20% and 1.69%. And if anybody can't find the link, I can happily share the link with them.
Yeah, excellent. And another message coming here on behalf of NAJ. Congrats on the publication of your book. It is about time you have one of your own, having promoted so many awesome books.
Yes. Thanks very much. Thank you very much. I did bother NAJ for a couple of years about their own books. So and I see they've done it a while now, but I kept asking them every event I went to. I mean, you guys have a rich history, a rich legacy. You need to get it down into some format. Yeah. So,
and what does NAJ stand for?
Nurses Association of Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's another comment in here, Garfield. Which of your books sell better, children or adults' books?
Ooh, that's all right. So it really depends on where I am, right? So if I'm going to, these days I try to I always have a mixture. But let me give you a little background now. So definitely where there's events with children, and I like to display them like how they might be displayed at the nursery or at school, so they're easy to take up and look at, and they can see them. If they are lying on a table, the children can't necessarily see them. So I display them in such, I mean, I'm giving them our trade secrets now, but I display them in a stand-up thing where the children can see them and pick them. So the child becomes the customer, but mommy or daddy has to pay, right? So that's using the child. Then the adult books now, I try to have a variety. So I don't know, when I have an author on the stand, right, the adult books, whichever is being signed, will definitely move a lot more than the children's books. But I wouldn't say one sells more than the other. It all depends on your audience.
Okay.
You know?
And of course, I must give a plug here for Dr. Lola Ramakand's Community
Yes.
Helpers book, which of course, as a learning resource, I'd be interested to know from you, because what is unique about the book is about social interactions, you know, the values, and it relates to Jamaica, but of course it can be applied to any culture. How many of those types of resource type books are being written these days in terms of inspiring the values and what we call these days, we talk about the 21st century skills, which are you know, collaboration, creativity, communication, critical thinking. So how many authors are really writing those types of informative books for learning and development, just out of interest?
I would say, all right, so they're picking my brains now. So what Dr. Lola did was great. That's based on observation. You know, here are like one of them has different occupations that, you know, children, if not interested in, they might see themselves in that and interact and do the coloring and get to grips. Then the other one now is a set of coloring leaves or coloring pages, which is about being healthy and you know, more cleanliness and keeping yourself clean, and it has a mask and all of that. So that was maybe inspired a bit by COVID, you know, but it's back to observation and using your observation to, you know, do something. Because what we find, and this is not new, we've been in a kind of like a knowledge economy for the past couple of years, you know, and our responsibility is to process or gather or filter that knowledge in such a format so that someone else or a group of people can you know, take advantage or benefit from it.
So it's accessible. At the end of the day, this knowledge transfer, as you've indicated, has to be accessible, you know. And books are still one of the most effective ways in terms of knowledge sharing, retention. You know, you can return to it any time, you can underline it, you can write in, you know. And then of course, as you alluded to earlier on, it can actually feed into new ideas based on what you've read as well, which is great. There's the book title is
there's a bit of a Keepers of the Flame, saluting 100 Black authors.
Okay, and somebody has asked, is there a Kindle version?
All right, not yet.
Not yet. But
I'm gonna be. This evening is very special, right? So let me tell you why this evening, among other reasons, right? From I got the book 1st of June, I haven't really been able to launch it. So for me, this evening is the virtual launch.
Excellent.
Right? And I must thank Rudy and everybody who has joined us this evening. This is the virtual launch, right? I remember I was at an event a couple of years ago in Brixton, and Yasser Safari was one of the speakers, you know, and Yasser said, when you're making history or when you're being a part of history, you don't even think of being you're a part of history, right? It's long afterward now when you look back, you say, oh, I was part of history, and I was at XYZ when ting, and all of that.
Yeah.
So this evening, we're making history. We are trying to get more authors to collaborate.
Yeah.
We are trying to inspire those who have written already to write again. We are trying to get more literature from a Black perspective out in the community, out in the society, out in the world.
And that description of our journey is so important.
Yeah. And I'm trying to play my little part, but like I said, 99 people have come on this journey with me. So how I feel wherever I go with my book, it's not me alone. It's 100 of us.
Right. Okay.
There's 100 of us in the book. So right there, that's special. 100 of us. And I remember I was at an event in Southall a couple of weeks ago, and I know the organizer very well. And a young man came over to me and he said, you know, Garfield, Carleen sent me to you. Carleen is the organizer. So I said, I look at him and I said, why would Carleen send you to me? Because I wasn't sure. So when I said, why Carleen sent it to me? She said, oh, I've been trying to write and I've been struggling and I need some inspiration and all of that. And you know something? I felt a little tear coming down. And I said to him, young man, here's 100 inspirational stories. And I'll sign it for you.
Yeah.
And I had a little chat with him. You know, I'm asking people, what's your superpower and all of that kind of thing. And he was like, you know, nobody ever asked what my superpower, you know. I remember the first time somebody asked me that was a superpower. So I signed it for him and everything, and we had a little chat, and he went off.
Yeah.
So in the afternoon now, the same brother came back. And when he was coming to the table, I was saying, whoa, look like I'm in trouble now, because this man is coming back. I mean, people don't really buy the book and then they go away and come back. Then go on with the book.
Yeah.
So what he said is, all right, yeah, I've been looking through the book. Well, guess what? I'm on my way to visit a friend, very, very good friend. And I want to bring a gift for them. And based on what I've seen, this is the gift I want to bring for them. So I want you, and he told me the person's name and, you know, what they noted for. So I was able to personalize a little message to them. And that was special.
Excellent. Right, we've got some messages to take you through now. There's a request. So Garfield, can you show us the book, please? Some of us have not seen it, even though we might be in it. So can you show us the book?
Oh Lord, yeah, because that's the thing now.
I'm sure you've got one to hand.
Yeah, man, I need to say, look here, I haven't been able to say thanks to everyone individually, right? Because like, I mean, my summer was something else. I mean, I was looking at the car the other day and how much 1,000 miles I've put in during the summer.
Yeah.
So I've been all over. I haven't had time to sit down.
Yeah.
But
So here's the book, folks.
This is the
Keepers
cover.
of the Flame.
Yeah.
100.
Saluting 100 Black authors.
Saluting 100 Black authors. Also, I'm going to go down through the list. Garfield, will you be going to the Black Authors on the Rise event on the 15th? The 15th of the 9th. It's a repeat of the 2019 event. So
Black Authors on the Rise.
Well, 15th of the 9th, obviously that's gone. So is there an event called Black Authors on the Rise?
Where is that? Where is that event?
It doesn't say. It says it's a repeat of the 2019 event, so we need a little bit more information there. Another comment.
We need a little bit more information on that.
Yeah, hopefully they'll put some more information back what they mean in the chat. Our books purchased via the website, signed. So if you get a book via the website, is it signed?
Yeah, if you put a little message to me that what you want in it, I'll put the message. I'll sign it.
Okay, so that's great then.
Yeah.
So when people book online, they can put a message, and you'll get that message into the book, and excellent. And then they'll,
Yeah.
of course, so it is signed, because obviously you're
Yeah.
physically involved in the redistribution
Yes.
or the distribution of the book.
Yes.
So that's a
Yeah,
great question.
Yeah. I've had a couple of inquiries too for wholesale. So I have a wholesale price as well. And
Good.
on the thing, there's actually a wholesale batch.
Yeah.
So if somebody wanted to, as I go around promoting, if they wanted to buy some to sell back or whatever, we can do that as well.
Yeah.
Because I don't expect to be every single place selling it. So
of
so
course.
people can buy wholesale and
You've
sell it back and make a little something for themselves.
Exactly, and you've got messages coming in here all the time. We're all here for Sir Garfield, which is great. And then sending you love and appreciation, Sir Garfield, for writing of this awesome book, which is great. So the event as it relates to the Black Authors on the Rise, apparently is the 15th of October. 15th of October, there's an event called Black Authors on the Rise. And it's an event, it's a repeat of the 2019 event. So no doubt this is their first event out of lockdown.
Oh, after lockdown. I would have to get some specific information. I mean, if they drop something on my Instagram or drop me an email or something.
Yeah.
I can hear that. Know that. Because I've been to a couple events all over the place. I've been to Legacy Center. They have a book thing.
Yeah, that's up in Birmingham. That's in Birmingham.
In fact, Legacy Center reopened in 2019 with a book event.
Yeah.
So always go to that one. There was recently the Hammersmith and Fulham Writers Festival out in White City there. I was at that one for the 20th and 21st of August. So whichever ones I know of and I can, move around my timetable, I'll definitely support.
Yeah, and no doubt there will be many book festivals celebrating Windrush 75 next year as well. I would imagine that that's going to be quite exciting when it comes to that. Probably lots of people feverishly writing away to get the book. It's a great timeline.
Yeah.
You think it's almost like a once in a generation celebration for us at a certain age, 75, because the next big one will be 100, Windrush 100, which are our children and our grandchildren, we hope. So, Garfield, somebody said here that those, and I don't know if this is a bit of a joke, Garfield, did you say that those in the book will get a free copy?
I didn't say that. Where was that said?
So no. I think they're smiling on that one, but
what I've actually been doing is that the people who are in it have done it at a reduced price. That's what I've been doing. Because to be honest with you, it's not a cheap undertaking, you know.
It's not
a cheap undertaking, and then so it's and I do value the participation, but I have to do it in such a way that I can go on to do more.
If
I do it each time and I give them all away, then I don't have any more seed to plant, to water, to grow any more trees. So I'm not gonna.
So Garfield, we'll come to the end now. So please give us your final message for everybody. What's your final message to close off the launch? And I'm glad that you do regard this as the virtual launch of the book, and you've given us much more than just the book itself.
Yes, my final message. My final message is maybe going to be the beginning of something else, because when I was thinking about authors and publishers, and I was thinking about the completed book, it's kind of like the end of the journey for the author and the publisher when they have published the book.
Yeah.
But guess what? It's the start of the journey for the reader who's then going to pick it up and maybe read it, maybe get inspired to write a book for then somebody else to pick up and read. So it's a cycle. And as much as we can, we participate in the cycle and try to make it work as best as possible. So definitely I want to say a big thank you to everyone who joined me on the journey. Well, who allowed me to salute you. That's what I said I would set out to do, to salute 100 Black authors and to hold them up and to shine a little light on them. You know, one lady asked me today, she said she was filling out a statement because she's doing something and they're asking what are some of the places that she's being promoted or her work is listed. And she said, Garfield, can I tell them that I'm listed in your Keepers of the Flame? I said, definitely. If that's going to help you to be able to fill out the thing and whatever, and we can send a PDF to show them or something, or a page from the book to show that you are listed here, even if you're not promoted anywhere else. That to me is I don't want to say my work here is done because I just start, but that is something really to be proud of, because if I can help someone else on their journey, you know, so it's I've learned a lot about the selling of the books. Now I'm at this stage where I'm learning the other bits of the process, the writing of the book, the publishing, the marketing. But as much as I can, I'm looking to work even more closely, you know, because without authors, this is my line, without authors, there would be no books.
Yeah, of course. Great. So thank you very much, Garfield. One last time, just let us know how people can get hold of you, telephone and website.
Okay, so the best thing for me is promoting our heritage. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook and Twitter, right? Sometimes I'm not able to answer my phone because I'm always in a meeting or something. So they might call me and they don't get me. I say, oh, he doesn't want to answer, but that's not.
So they just got to type in Garfield Robinson. Your image will come up on any of those platforms. Basically.
So great. The promoting our heritage, then I know it's about books. So
and that's the website, promoting our heritage, so they can leave a message through the website and you'll get back to them.
And I'll get back to them.
Thank you very much, Garfield. It's been a great and inspiring dialogue.
Thank you, and thanks for having me on the platform, and thank you everybody who has joined us. And let's keep in touch and let's work together.
Thank you very much, Garfield. And we will be back next month because obviously it's Black History Month here in the UK, and for us, in terms of our work, it's the final month of what we call Black History Season. So what we've been doing this year, we launched our Black History Season in February because it's Black History in the US and in Jamaica. And we've run every month, we've run dialogues under this theme of Black History Season. So we've made sure that we've marked all the key dates as it relates to people of African and Caribbean descent. So thank you very much, Garfield, for being part of, you know, September's output in terms of Black History Season. And then, as I say, next month is Black History Month, and we'll be back again with some great dialogues and some surprising ones as well. So thank you, everybody. Good night and take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks.